Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Daryl D TV. I'm your host, Daryl D. It's good to see you. Yep, I'm still out here in Michigan visiting family. It's still cold out here, even though we are into the beginning of April. But I had to show y'all my latest mixtape haul. Now, even though this is from some months back, I just now got around to making a video about it. And if you're a big fan of mixtapes, DJ mixtapes like I am, then I'm sure you'll enjoy this video. I'm going to enjoy making it. So y'all bear with me because it's freezing right now. It's about, I don't know, 25, 30 degrees out here right now. So just bear with me, okay? All right, so first of all, I want to send love out to my homeboy, Kid Millions. He's over at dopefolksrecords.com. I got this haul from him. So as I was making my way from Phoenix over to Michigan, I stopped in my hometown, Milwaukee, and hung out with the homie. And for those of you who don't know, Kid Millions, John, um, he's a big time record dealer. If you're into that vinyl, let me know. And he also has some ill cassette tapes. So I saw some that I was interested in, and he hooked me up proper. He knows I'm a big fan of the mixtapes, and so yeah, I just want to share with y'all what I got from John. All right, so we're gonna start off real hot. All right, and I'm gonna show you this first tape is from one of my favorite mixtape DJs of all time, straight out of Philly, DJ Tat Money. Now, if you are familiar with Tat Money, then you know this man really needs no introduction. But let me just give you, like my brief history with Tat Money. I first knew about Tat, of course, from him being Steady B's DJ. So if you go back to like the second Steady B album, What's My Name, and you flip over on the back, it's got Steady B and it's got Tat Money, and they got the real ill Fila sweatsuits on. That's where I believe that I first encountered Tat Money. And if you're familiar with that album, you know how he gets down on the turntables. So after that, I was basically hooked. Every record he did with Steady B, I was on it. What's My Name? The What's My Name album is my favorite album from Steady B and Tat Money. And Tat Money went on to DJ for Kwame, I think after the whole Steady B thing. And of course, he was just as ill with Kwame. He's an ill battle DJ, ill scratch DJ. He's crazy with the tricks, and his mixtapes reflect his talent on the turntables to a T. I'm um, I'm gonna make a video eventually of my top 10 mixtape DJs. So expect to hear, you know, more about Tat Money on that video. But for right now, we're just gonna focus on this tape. The thing about Tat Money's tapes too, I first discovered these tapes at a record store in Milwaukee back in the 90s called the Scratch Pad. All my Milwaukee people know exactly what it is. Real crazy record store. And they had a huge selection of mixtapes. And what I remember most about Tat Money's mixtape is that they all had the same cover. This was the cover, they just had different volumes down here. This is volume 8. Now, I almost think I own volume 8 already, because I probably have maybe 8 or 9 Tat Money mixtapes already. I'm pretty sure I have volume 8, but I had to pick this up anyway. And I can tell just from the back that, from the price tag on there, see that? That was the price tag from a record store in Milwaukee called Audio Vibes, out on like Capitol. Uh, all my Milwaukee heads, know about Audio Vibe, probably one of the illest and most historical record shops in Milwaukee. But yeah, at the scratch pad, I just remember they would have them all on the shelf, and they would just all be next to each other, and it would just be all of the different volumes. So they had a pretty good selection of them at the scratch pad in Milwaukee. So, and most of them were titled In the Mix. Volume 1, I think they went up to maybe 12 or 14. I don't remember exactly. But if I was going to recommend a mixtape, if somebody was to get into DJ mixes, rap music related DJ mixes, I would definitely recommend Tap Money. He would definitely be somewhere, probably in my top 5 of recommendations for mixtapes. All right, so if you see a Tap Money mixtape, just grab it. Don't even question it. Just grab it. All right. So that's first up. DJ Tap Money, In the Mix, Volume 8. All right. So next up, I actually have another Tap Money mixtape, and this particular one is a tape that a series that I've never even heard before. That I remember, if I recall correctly. This one is DJ Tap Money Slow Jams, and this is Volume 1. I don't know how I missed out on these, but I have never heard a DJ Tap Money Slow Jams mixtape before. Now, the crazy thing is, like I said, I'm on vacation right now. I'm visiting family. I'm all the way across the country from where I live, so I don't have access to a cassette tape player. And I'm really anxious to hear this to see what it sounds like. Because if you can get busy on some slow jams, you know what you're doing. And I haven't seen too many people who can really get ill. You know, you got Kid Capri, who's done slow jam mixtapes. You've got Rob Swift, who's done, I wouldn't say slow jam mixtapes, but like slower music, jazzy stuff, rock stuff, soul stuff. But man, I've never seen a Tap Money slow jam mixtape, and this is Volume 1. I have no idea how many volumes of this series he actually did, but I'm really anxious to hear this and hopefully get my hands on some more. So this was a real treat to find, you know, Slow Jams Volume 1 from DJ Tap Money. If anybody's heard this series, tell me about them. I'd like to know a lot more, all right? So we got 2 up for DJ Tap Money. And I've got just so you know, I've got a total of 6 tapes that I'm going to show you. Next up is a tape. I've never heard of this DJ, and I've never seen this tape before. This is DJ Excalibur. And it's Excalibur presents Knights of the Round Table. This is Volume 3, the Scratch Masterpiece Theater. Has anybody heard of DJ Excalibur? If you have, let me know in the comments or something, or hit me up. I never heard of this DJ before. Obviously, this is a scratch mix, a scratch tape, so I'm expecting to hear a whole lot of that. And he's got at least 3 volumes, and that's some ill artwork. That's sort of what the print looks like on the tape. So yeah, this should be pretty interesting. You know, I saw that, had to have it. Said John hooked me up. He said no doubt, as usual. And so I'm taking home DJ Excalibur. All right, Volume 3, Knights of the Round Tables. Kind of looks like the Incredible Hulk with glasses. I can't really make out what's on that picture, but yeah, looking forward to that one too. All right, so that's 3 down. So we got 3 more to go. Now this next one, I've never seen this tape before, this series. This is DJ Bear, The Sound of the Zulu. DJ Bear, The Sound of the Zulu. And I guess this is the Kango side, and the other side is the Fat Laces side. Never heard of this guy, you know, in terms of mixtapes. Now, let me say this. Um, Many years ago, I was at a flea market in Phoenix, and I came across this guy who was selling a little bit of everything, but he had like 10 crates of records, and man, it was one of my greatest come ups ever because it was all rap music and R&B, you know, funk stuff like that, and it was very thorough, and the guy had like a whole collection. Like for weeks, he would bring out 10 different crates, 10 different crates, and all these records were 50 cents a piece. And I grabbed all kinds of crazy records, man. I got some crazy, crazy stuff out of there. 12 inches, albums, just some incredible stuff. And the crazy thing about it is all these records had DJ Bear written on them. And I never knew who that DJ was or where he came from. And so imagine that was probably back in 2003, 2002, maybe somewhere in there. And so imagine all these years later, I see a mixtape by DJ Bear. Now, is it the same DJ Bear? I have no idea, but I'd be very curious to know. So, if anybody knows about DJ Bear, whether it's this guy or whether it's the guy whose records ended up at the flea market, I would like to know. Or if DJ Bear happens to see this video, hit me up. I would love to get the story behind it. Whether you're the same guy or whether you're just this guy, I'd like to hear more about these mixtapes, Sounds of the Zulu. If it's the other DJ Bear and that's a different guy, I would love to know how your records ended up at the flea market. Okay? So that's the next one I want to show you, The Sound of the Zulu by DJ Bear. This should be interesting. Who knows what's on this tape? I'm anxious to hear this. Okay, next up, let me set this one up. Some time ago, it's been a few years, I was looking around on the internet and I ended up landing on this site called Strictly Cassette. And it's like a website all about mixtapes and whatnot. And I came across this article about this DJ that I had never heard of before. His name was DJ a.k.a. What caught me about this article, and you should look this up, Strictly Cassette. What tripped me out about this article was there were these pictures, and there was this one picture of like all of the mixtapes that a.k.a. had done, and I had never seen any of these tapes before. And the article was explaining how he got with the company Tape Kings out of New York. Now, the hardcore mixtape DJ fans know about, you know, Tape Kings. They were killing it back in the 90s. They did really long series with a lot of New York DJs. I know Mr. C did a lot of tapes on there. Evil D did a lot of tapes on there. There was a lot of top-notch DJs that were on there. Well, a.k.a. was from Pittsburgh, and according to this article, he's been like super huge in that scene, not only the mixtape scene, but just in the DJing scene, period. Scratches, tricks, the whole nine. According to this article, he has toured the world with big, huge acts like Public Enemy and A Tribe Called Quest and, you know, De La Soul, all these different, you know, artists from back in the day. And I had, when I saw the picture of all of these mixtapes, I was shocked that I've never come across any of them. And I dig for mixtapes everywhere I go, especially when I'm in New York or Los Angeles. Those are like two honey holes for mixtapes for me. So of course, when I saw that John had a cassette by DJ a.k.a., I was all over it. Now this, I'm very excited about this tape because after reading that article, I couldn't help but to instantly become a fan. And this one, it says that he is the 1993 USA World DJ Champion, which took place in New York City. And it just says Ghetto Style DJ on there. And the actual tape says July Mix, all new fat joint skis. Then on the back it says 1993 DJ Competitor, NYC. And then it even has the track list. So he's got like Showbiz and AG, Artifacts, Grand Poobah, UTD. How many of y'all know who UTD is? Go look that up. Get back at me. Roots, Red Hot Lover, Tone, D&D Project, Big L, World Renowned, Common Sense, Master A, Shorty Long, Mobb Deep, Artifacts, Alcoholics, Mobb Deep, Mad Lion, AMG, Mike Geronimo, 9, East Flatbush Project, and some outros and scratch intros and whatnot. So yeah, DJ Double K, man, I encourage everybody to go look him up. There's a few online interviews with this guy. Very interesting dude, very down to earth, and sounds like a very modest individual. And I am happy to add one of his mixtapes to my collection. I cannot wait to hear this. And apparently he's still very, very active in the mixtape scene. Well, I should say the mix scene. I believe he's doing a lot of internet DJing and whatnot. But he's out of Pittsburgh, man. He's out of Pittsburgh. And I believe that that picture, if I'm not correctly, that picture is him opening up for a Tribe Called Quest somewhere. Somewhere in the world. So big ups to DJ Double K. Very excited about hearing your cassette tape. And yeah, I'll let you guys know how that turns out. Now the last tape that I want to show you guys is actually, it's very interesting. It's entitled A Great Taste of Flavor. What's up, man? Good, good. A Great Taste of Flavor, Volume 2. Now what's interesting about this tape is I actually own, I believe it's Volume 1, which has yellow on the cover opposed to the blue that you see here. Now, I had no idea there were more than one volume. And I don't know, I never knew who the actual DJ was that made this. So when I was in Milwaukee, I went to see the homie Doc B DJing, and he actually had his, he sells mixtapes on thumb drives these days. And so I'm flipping through his book, and I come across this page with this tape. So I didn't even know that there was more than one volume. So I was very interested to see who exactly had done the DJing on here. And so come to find out, it's actually himself and Fresh G. And if you're from Milwaukee, you know who Fresh G is. Mike Love out in Chicago, but we don't really mess with that. He's Fresh G to us. And so apparently they are the two DJs on this tape. So this was very exciting to find that out. I found that out, I think, one night, and then like the very next day I found out that John actually had this tape for sale. So being able to pick this up from John was super cool for me, and that's definitely going in the collection next to Volume 1, which is yellow in color, and there is a Volume 3 that is actually red in color. So now I'm looking for that one, Doc B, Fresh G. We'll talk about it later. All right? So those are the 6 that I wanted to show you. That is my latest mixtape haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If anybody's familiar with any of these tapes, get back at me. Let me know what's going on with those, because any additional information would be appreciated. All right. So that's all for right now. This is Daryl DTV. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and love.